You see that moment? When everyone thinks it's over, when the strongest creature in the world is standing in front of you, and you can barely stand on your own feet. That's where real battles begin. I'm not talking about fists, I'm talking about will. Because there comes a point in life where strength doesn't matter anymore, where talent disappears, where even hope starts fading. And all you're left with is one question. Will you still stand when everything inside you is telling you to fall? I've been there. Broken, defeated, knocked down so hard. The world itself felt heavy on my chest. Every breath hurt. Every step felt impossible. And in that moment, you start hearing voices, not from others, but from inside you. Stop. It's enough. You can't win this. That voice feels real, because pain is real. Failure is real. And when you face something bigger than you, stronger than you, unstoppable like a storm, you begin to doubt everything. You start thinking, maybe I'm not meant to win. But listen carefully. That's the moment where most people lose. Not because they're weak, but because they believe that voice. They accept defeat before the fight is even over. And once you accept it, it's done. Game over. No comeback. No story. Nothing. But me, I don't accept that. I never did. Because I learned something. Something simple. Something dangerous. As long as I'm breathing, the fight is not over. You can break my bones. You can crush my body. You can knock me down again and again. But if my will is still alive, then I'm still in the fight. And that's what people don't understand. Winning isn't about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. So when you're lying there, hurt, exhausted, thinking this is the end, remember this. This is not where you lose. This is where you decide who you really are. You want to know what real pain feels like? It's not just getting hit. It's getting back up, knowing you're going to get hit again. It's standing in front of something that has already defeated you. Once, twice, maybe 100 times, and still choosing to fight. That's the kind of pain most people run from. Because it's not physical anymore. It's mental. It's the moment when your body is screaming, but your mind is even louder, telling you, enough, just stay down. No one will blame you. And maybe that's true. Maybe no one will blame you. Maybe people will say, you did your best, but deep down, you'll know the truth. You quit. And that feeling, that regret, that stays longer than any injury. I've felt that edge, that line between giving up and pushing forward. And I'll tell you something most people won't. It doesn't get easier. There's no magical moment where pain disappears. No, it gets heavier. Every failure adds weight. Every loss makes you slower. Every doubt cuts deeper. And when you're facing something like Kaido, something that seems unbeatable, you realize something terrifying. This world doesn't care how hard you try. You can give everything you have and still lose. Think about that. You can push yourself to the limit, break your own boundaries, bleed for your dream, and still get knocked down. That's reality. That's the truth no one likes to hear. So the question becomes, why keep going? Why stand up again? When the result might be the same, why fight? When you're outmatched? Because this isn't just about winning. It's about who you become in the middle of the fight. Every time you stand up, you change. Not on the outside, but inside. Your will gets sharper. Your fear gets smaller. Your mindset becomes dangerous. You stop fighting to prove something to others and start fighting because it's who you are. And once you reach that point, something shifts. You're not just a person anymore. You become a force that doesn't stop, doesn't quit, doesn't break. Even when you're bleeding, even when you're losing, even when everything is against you, you move forward. Because now, it's personal. Now it's not about the opponent. It's about your promise, your dream, your reason. And that's something no one can take from you. So go ahead, knock me down again, break me, test me. Because every time I fall, I come back different, stronger, colder, unstoppable. There's a moment, a very quiet moment, right after the pain, right after the fall, when everything goes still. No noise, no fear, no excuses, just you and the truth. You realize something. No one is coming to save you. No miracle, no shortcut, no second chance handed to you. It's just you. And in that silence, you make a decision, not out loud, not for anyone else to hear, but deep inside. I'm not done. That's the turning point. Not when you win, but when you refuse to lose. Because something changes after that. Pain doesn't disappear, but it stops controlling you. Fear doesn't vanish, but it stops stopping you. Doubt doesn't die, but it loses its power over your actions. You start moving differently, not desperate, not emotional, but focused, cold. Every breath becomes intentional. Every step becomes calculated. Every hit you take becomes fuel. You stop asking, "Can I win?" and start saying, "I will keep going, no matter what." That's where real strength is born. Not from muscles, not from talent, but from a decision. A decision to stand, even when standing hurts. A decision to move forward, even when your body wants to shut down. And when you reach that state, you become dangerous. Because now, you're not fighting with limits. You're fighting without them. You stop seeing the opponent as unbeatable. You start seeing them as just another obstacle, another wall. And walls are meant to be broken. This is where the fire ignites. Not loud, not flashy, but deep inside. A fire that doesn't burn out. A fire that says, "I've been broken before. I've been defeated before. I've felt pain worse than this. So this won't stop me." That's when everything changes. Your punches hit harder. Your will becomes unshakable. Your presence alone becomes pressure. Because now you're not fighting to survive. You're fighting to conquer. And no matter how many times you fall after this, you already crossed the line. The line where quitting was an option. Now, it's not. Now there's only one direction. Forward. Always forward. You want to know the truth? Strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Every single time you refuse to quit. People about power, about talent, about being chosen. No, it's about discipline. It's about showing up, even when you're tired, even when you're broken, even when your mind is telling you to stop. Because discipline is doing what's necessary when you don't feel like it. That's what separates the weak from the unstoppable. Not muscles, not luck, but consistency and pain. You see, anyone can fight when they feel strong. Anyone can chase their dream when things are going right. But the real test is when everything is falling apart. When you're alone, when you're doubting yourself, when nothing is working.